John, you finally, you hadn't played with Cooper, at least not in the game. What was the impact, you think, of his return?
Oh, it was great to just have a Coop back. He had a big impact. I already knew what I was going to get from him. You know, we had him in the spring and stuff. So it was just great having him out there. That's my boy. I love that boy. I've been knowing about Coop since I was in high school. Him and his big brother, you know, that was great high school recruit. So I already knew I was getting out of Coop. So it was just great having him back on the field just with us fighting.
Eric Kane?
So you're getting some, love for some pancake walks on social media here this week. How would you assess kind of your play in this system now, five games in?
Can you elaborate on that question as in my play, like what you mean?
Yeah, how do you feel like you're playing right now in terms of your comfort and just level of play in the zone?
I feel like I'm playing good. I can always do better. Like it's like more blocks. Like I probably left on the table that I watching film. My coach like we reviewing. Like we not really looking at all the good blocks. I'm trying to crunch down on the bad blocks because I'm trying to stack plays consistently and just make perfect plays, perfect drives and stuff. So just trying to chase perfection. I know that's hard to do, but that's what we're trying to do.
We'll go to Ben and then Rick.
John, y'all have some big time defensive fronts coming up that y'all gonna have to prepare for. Just what's the next step for the offensive line as you work towards Texas A&M and Alabama?
I mean, we just focus right now on Texas A&M. We're not looking too far ahead. We're just focusing 1 week at a time. Right now we're on a bye week. We're just trying to get better. Everybody trying to just take care of their bodies, get better, sharpen our skills, just go over our game plan against them, watch film, just sharpen up the tools. So we just gonna do our same routine. We're just trying to just get better.
Go to Rick.
What are your thoughts on just SEC football as a whole, and then also playing in Neyland Stadium? There's a big environment last game.
Shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, the stadium, like, the fans, like, I don't know, it just felt like I was on that primetime stage. Like, I don't know, it was lit. Like, it was just crazy, just seeing all the people out there, and it was just deep, loud. The crowd really brought that juice, like, cause it was sold out before, but they had really brought that juice at night. I don't know, it was just great. It was electrifying. It was crazy for me. You know, I ain't never really had no fans before like that, so it was just great, just just seeing a sold out, packed out crowd that's into it, juiced up, and just rooting us. So I mean, it was just crazy for me, for real.
We'll go to Ryan and then Ben.
John, how would you assess how you guys did in the run game in particular, from the big numbers you did Saturday, and what was maybe the biggest key to you guys running it so well?
I mean, the biggest key to our run game is Coach Ellaby. He the one who helping us in the run game, giving us tools and tips. So it's really just shout out to Ellaby, shout out to them running backs and my other guys on the line. Just everybody, we all working together. That's the main thing. We just always have to work together. We the five front, so like we can't be on different pages. Like everybody got to do the same thing, do our same technique or whatever our scheme that we run. We just got to do it correctly on the same page and consistently. That's really that's the key. We just got to be consistent. We just got to keep working hard and stay focused for real. That's our goal.
John, you and Javonte were pretty emotional throughout the game and right after the game as well. Just how much do you all feed off of each other's energy?
Shit, I mean, yeah, all the time. That's my dog. Like, yeah, we feeding off it. Like, if I see Sprags over there, like we in the meeting room, he just chilling. I'm gonna say something to him to get him going. Like, that's my boy. Like, I'm always taking jab. I'm gonna take a jab at me, but we got emotion. Like, we gonna come out there. We gonna play hard. We gonna play physical. We just gonna try to just give our all. Like, that's the main thing. Just try to strain and just give all we got. So I mean, if he gonna give it all, I'm gonna give my all. Like, and that's just basically the whole O-line. Like, we just all gonna strain and just give our all. But it's just great to have Sprags, somebody who gonna bring that same gorilla energy with me and that mentality. So that's just great to have him.
Obvious question. I mean, how did you feel Saturday night? It looked like in the second half it was painful at times, and then how have you felt since from a recovery standpoint?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good for me to get out there, be with my teammates. That was the hardest part of being out. So just getting back and being able to get in the swing of things and find a little bit of rhythm was good. Sometimes hurts to play a game. That's how it is. So I've been a little bit sore, but getting back this week and getting ready for next week too.
Did you play more snaps than you anticipated playing?
No, probably not. I don't know. If I'm going to start something, I'm going to try to finish it. So I anticipated playing the whole game, and kind of ended up being like that. So.
Cooper, just how tough was the last month and a half? Imagine it was not fun having to sit out?
It was rough, you know. That was expected though. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, we're student athletes. It's kind of like our whole thing, you know. Playing football, it's basically kind of our whole life. So not being able to do what you love and what you've prepared for doing your whole life is going to be hard every time.
Go to Sam.
Going off on that, Cooper, how hard was it to keep conditioned with how fast you guys play and then get right back into the game like you were talking about, how much time you got?
It was tough. Just something that we kind of harped on in my recovery process was making sure that I do everything I can to stay conditioned and get ready for whenever I do come back and play, making sure I was ready for the task at hand. So it was a big focus of ours, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Go back to Brent.
There was obviously a lot of weekly speculation. Could he go this week? When's he going to be able to go? When did you know you were healthy enough to play at the level you expect yourself to play at and be effective enough that you were going to go? When did you know?
Earlier in the week, we have our padded practices, and kind of the first day that I got out there in pads and did the whole thing, felt pretty confident in myself, felt pretty comfortable in my shoes and where my feet were. So probably earlier in the week, I found a good gauge of where I was at.
Go to Eric and then Ben.
Your kind of musical chairs filling in for you while you were out with Ollie and Dave Davis at times. So what did you think of those guys? And then now that you're back and people are kind of getting back to where they normally are, what do you think the ceiling is for you as an offensive line together?
The ceiling's really high. I think when we play together, we play pretty good football, and I think that was kind of shown this past week. I think we did a pretty good job, but got stuff to grow with. As far as Dana, Ollie, and all the guys that, you know, stepped up when I was hurt, super proud of those guys. You know, they've done a lot of great things around here, and that was just another one of them, and I think they filled their role pretty well.
Go to Ben.
Cooper, coming off the bye week, you have two pretty tough defensive fronts waiting on you in A&M and Alabama. Just what's key this week and getting into next week for the offensive line to keep growing?
I think the biggest key is using this week to, you know, not as a week just to have a week off, really being intentional about how we're working and, you know, figuring out the game plan and figuring out the stuff that we need to do to win.
Go to Noah, then Adam, then Patrick.
Like kind of go back to Ollie, just kind of what was that relationship like with him? Did he kind of lean on you at all during that while you were out?
I think so. You can ask him. I think he leaned on me a little bit. I think we all, as a whole, you know, our whole line kind of bonded together around those guys that were filling in, building them up, giving them confidence, and then for me, anything that I saw that I knew that he might not have known, I showed it to him and figured out how he could get better at it.
Adam.
Obviously, you saw every week we're asking coach, like, is Coop going to play this week? And when he would say he may play or I think he's going to play, how did you deal with the speculation and the pressure from the public about that?
I just didn't really deal with it. I just kind of turned a blind eye to it, kind of turned my head. You can't really focus on what everybody's saying outside of the building, and that's preached by our coaching staff, is that all that matters is right here in this building. So that's where my ears were listening, and that's where my eyes were looking at. So it didn't really bother me too much.
And did you get a lot of questions just out and about from just random people about it?
People would ask, yeah, but you know, I'm not out too much. I'm pretty busy with football here, so not too much.
Patrick.
Cooper, during the process from August and trying to work way back, who were some guys you maybe leaned on to kind of keep your spirits up and kind of keep pushing you to get back?
Really my whole line, you know, that was big for me, and a huge part of it was my family. You know, after I had my surgery, I went home for a couple days and hung out with my family, and you know, they kind of nursed me back to health a little bit, my little brother. So yeah, it was my family, all of my teammates around here, everybody's great. I love all of them guys.
How was your little brother kind of helping you get back on track?
Oh man, you know, if anybody's ever had to deal with my surgery, it's kind of hard to get up and get going. So he would always walk with me, hold my hand, you know, make sure I was propped up right and could get where I was going.
Finish up with Ben.
How fun is it to watch John Campbell and Javonte Spraggins on tape and then also just kind of watch them feed off of each other's energy?
Really fun. You know, anytime those guys are out there hitting on all cylinders, it's going to be a fun game and, you know, a violent game. So if you watch the game, there's plenty of finished plays and plays where guys are taking people over the pile, stuff like that. And I think that's kind of, you know, who we are as an O-line and who we're trying to be. It's our identity.
Okay.
Arion, how much slower is the game getting for you? You've been put in some critical situations in the first half, the last couple of weeks. Obviously, there's a lot of trust there. How much better does the game feel for you right now?
Game feels really good to me right now. It's slowed down a lot, you know, getting a lot more reps as a young guy coming in. I've seen the game open up and it's slowed down tremendously for me.
Patrick?
Aaron, you had a play the other night where I think it was a screen and you kind of shot a gap through the field on Slum and made tackle calls. What was the call on that play? What would you see to kind of make that play?
We was just based on the formation. I was like in a form of man. I just seen the keys from the guards pulling fast, getting out to set up the screen. Wasn't scared. Ran through the alley and was there.
Go to Eric and then Ben.
Aaron, knowing you were going to get some playing time this year as a true freshman, but then Keenan got hurt. Was there ever, you know, after that injury, was there ever a moment where your mindset might have changed, like, right or not, it's go time?
No, sir. The mindset stayed the same because from the beginning, I just had the mindset of coming in and being ready to play because you never know. It's always next man up. Of course, you hate seeing a guy like Keenan, such a great guy, going down, but just being there and knowing that we are there mentally preparing every day as young guys with me and Jeremiah, we were confident and the mindset stayed the same the whole way.
Ben?
You feel like that South Carolina game last weekend was your best performance so far this season?
Assignment wise, yes, sir. I do. I feel like I was flying around, less thinking, more reacting.
What led to you doing that, and what's going to be key for you to carry that into coming off the bye week?
Really preparation. Coach BJ talks about it all the time, especially being a young guy, being athletic, and being able to see the field and know formations and kind of see what plays are going to develop and what formations. Being in the film room, I've been in the film room a lot more lately, a lot on my free time when I'm not doing schoolwork. So I feel like that's helped me tremendously. That way, when I get there, I'm not thinking, I'm just reacting.
Go to Eric again.
I think there was a fourth down play the other night. Look out there, it's you and Jeremiah, you know, two linebackers. Do you guys ever, there's been more plays like that, do you guys ever kind of look at each other and say, wow, this is, you know, freshman, this is real, we're playing some big time snaps?
Yeah, we get on the sideline and like, we're going out there, we're holding our own on the SEC, big SEC game, and just it's knowing that the future is bright for us, and as long as we continue to get better and bring everybody else along, we'll just be fine.
Go to Adam, Brent, and then Patrick.
Players say that playing in Neyland is something like you don't know what it's like until you've experienced it. When is that experience the strongest? Like, when is it the most eye-opening? Is it running to the tee or a big play or during the game or what?
For me, it was running through the tee that night game, just seeing the fireworks and all the people cheering and running through that tee. It's nothing like it. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That was a big eye-opener for me, playing in Neyland.
Go to Brent.
You mentioned more film study. Was there a moment where you probably already knew this, but was there a moment where you're like, man, I gotta put even more into this and can't just be the best athlete on the field like I was for 4 years in high school? Did you have a play or a game, a moment where you felt that way?
Well, you kind of feel that way every game you step into because you playing high-level athletes like yourself. So you really got to be on your P's and Q's. It's not really necessarily a play. I can remember just going out there every day, playing the best in one of the best conferences. I really I took it to another level because seeing like older guys like Keenan and Bees getting in the playbook more and just knowing my assignment. That was the biggest thing. Was knowing my assignment more, picking up keys and details from their offense or any offense that we play really. But it's definitely a more of a mental thing in college for me. And I say for any young guy stepping into college, you gotta come in with the right mindset, be well prepared, and know that you gotta step in with a different approach coming in. You can't just go out there and play. You gotta actually put time in, and that's what I've been doing.
Patrick?
Aaron, you guys have been around Jeremiah for almost a year now. I think probably a lot of people outside the program might be surprised that he's making an impact that he has. Are you guys surprised inside that he's able to make plays like he did in third down, fourth down the other day?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm his roommate, so we do film study together. So just knowing what he knows and us playing off each other, you know, it's not hard for me to know that the work that he's put in is showing, and I'm so thankful for that, and I'm happy for him, and I just want to see him continue to grow, along with everybody else.
All right, anything else?